Hello everyone, welcome to Let's Discuss number 2. The point of this video and the discussion I'd like to start is how long you should rest between each set while doing X3. So this is something that gets asked quite a bit in the users group, particularly from newer users. But I think it's still something a lot of people debate back and forth. And I wanted to maybe have some focused discussion about this topic because I think it is very important. Your ability to recover and how long you should allow yourself to recover between or before moving on to the next exercise is a very key component, I think, in what you get from the system. Let me just start by saying that what I'm going to recommend is just based off my own kind of trial and error and experience, and what I think to be providing pretty good results for myself. So that's why I've stuck to what I'm going to recommend. This is not an official recommendation or anything like that, so don't take it as like, the only option for you, just something to think about. And if you have a different point of view, please, let's discuss it. That's the whole point of these videos, so I'd love to hear your input and your feelings on maybe why it should be different. So my recommendation for how long to rest is 1 to 2 minutes between each exercise. I will talk about why. But first, I'd like us to consider a few things when it comes to recovery and the quality of your workout. So the first has nothing to do with what you do in your workout. It's everything else in your life. So your sleep. Are you not getting enough sleep? Or, today's workout, did you sleep crappy the night before? It's obviously going to have an effect on today's workout, right? Your stress level. If you're significantly stressed out at work or in your personal life, things like that, that's going to take away from your ability to really focus and push yourself. And stress has a physical component too. I mean, it takes a toll on the body. So, if you're overly stressed, it's only natural that you're not going to recover as quickly as a result of it. And then, are you sick? If you're fighting a cold or something or worse, obviously that's going to play into it too. I think that's pretty straightforward. And then your level of experience is another huge factor. There's more that goes into this too, like your nutrition and all those kind of things. I really don't want to get too bogged down on the factors. It's just, let's be aware of it. So let me go back to experience level real quick. If you're new, obviously it's going to take you longer to recover, especially if you're like brand new to fitness in general and you've never really worked out. You're going to have a lot of time that you need between each exercise as you adapt and improve your overall level of fitness. So and then on the other end of that spectrum, if you're, an elite level athlete, professional, you're probably going to be doing better than, most of us. So this may not apply to you. So what I'm going to recommend is based on people who have used the system for a while. You've at least done 12 weeks, probably longer, and your overall level of fitness is pretty good. You're not just starting out. So if you're not kind of in that standard base case there, you're going to need to take what I say or this recommendation, tweak it a little bit to where you are in that journey or on that spectrum. So those are some of the factors to just think about and understand that they will have an impact on how quickly you can recover and, how much you're going to put into the exercises themselves. So then the other thing I'd like to discuss before we actually get to why I pick 1 to 2 minutes is your desired outcome. So are you trying to just raise your heart rate really high, or are you trying to build muscle? Are you trying to get stronger? Is endurance your goal? So there's some other outcome-based factors that you need to consider here too on how long you rest. So for me, my goal, what I want to get out of X3 is to get as big as I can, to get as strong as I can, and to have it translate to the real world, for real athletic ability. That's another discussion in terms of, do I need to go do things? Long story short, yes. If you want to be good at basketball, you still have to shoot hoops. You can't just do X3 and magically be good at basketball. But in terms of performance, that's what I want out of X3. I'm assuming that's what most people want. So again, my recommendation is based off of that, strength as the goal. So that's why I landed on 1 to 2 minutes. So if your scenario is different, then you need to tweak this as well. So 1 to 2 minutes. Why do I stick to 1 to 2 minutes? So I've personally experimented with longer, shorter. Do I go straight through the workout, only allowing like 20 to 30 seconds? And for me, I found that the best results I get, on a daily basis and just kind of overall, is the 1 to 2 minute period. So by 60 seconds to 120, I'm able to really lower my breath rate, right? I've kind of recovered enough from a cardiovascular point of view that I'm not still just completely huffing and puffing from the previous exercise. And, just mentally, I'm able to kind of get myself calm and focused on the current exercise. So I think that's a huge factor, right? If you're so distracted by how tired you feel, you're obviously going to not do very good on your next exercise. And I think you see that in sports, right? If you watch any kind of, sports at any level, as athletes become tired, they start to perform more poorly. That's just how we work as human beings. So it's obviously going to apply to your workouts. I think 1 to 2 minutes is a great target range there because it's just enough that you kind of get yourself back into control, but it's not so long that you're resting too much and kind of taking away from some of the cumulative effect of kind of keeping yourself on the go. And then for me mentally, keeping myself kind of on a tighter schedule like that, just, bam, 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 get my workout done. I kind of stay more focused and locked in on everything I'm doing. And I think it helps erase confusion or distraction, which, I think provides a lot of outcomes for you in terms of getting more out of each workout. So I work out with no one else in the room. I shut the door. I listen to some music because that also helps me focus, but I've got nothing going on other than, my 10 to 15 minutes with X3. The only variable in my 1 to 2 minutes is when it comes to split squats. So there's just something about the split squats that I am so absolutely smoked by the end of a solid set of split squats with partial reps and everything, that I need like 5 minutes. So I'm not sure if that's the right answer, but I feel like if I don't wait about 5 minutes, I'm probably going to puke all over. So the way I normally do them is on my push day, I start with chest press, then I do one of my legs for split squats. I'll wait the 5 minutes, and then I'll do my overhead press, wait 1 to 2 minutes, and then do my other leg for split squats, and then finish, there's a 5 minute wait there too, and then I finish with triceps, and then kind of just collapse for probably a good 20 minutes because split squats are brutal. If I condense those 5 minute gaps to be less than that, I would 100% be puking either on overhead press or tricep extension. Maybe I'm just weak or need to improve. But currently where I'm at, this has been this way now for 6 months or more. I just can't do it faster than that. So my days with split squats end up taking me closer to 20 minutes to get my whole workout done because there's essentially an extra 10 just to recover from splits. And then that's the other reason I finish the other push days I do with typical front squat. I put squats at the end, so that way I can stay on the 1 to 2 minutes, kind of push through everything really good, and then by the time I get to squats, I can give it everything I got and know that I'm done, and not have to worry about recovery period afterwards. It just works for me. It's a if you haven't tried it that way, I recommend doing it. I've found that I only lose maybe 1 to 2 reps, maybe sometimes 5 on my squats by doing everything else first. It really doesn't detract much from my ability to push myself hard on squats to do the other things first. Whereas if I flipped it, I lose a lot on all of my exercises because I'm just so exhausted from the squats that I feel like everything else I do is poor quality. So kind of getting on a tangent there, but it does play into your rest periods. Think about what your goal is with this, what is your desired outcome, and then your rest period should be in line with that desired outcome, right? You want to try and dial everything into the goal you're trying to achieve. So for me, the 1 to 2 minutes is the perfect time where I'm not, completely calm and recovered like I just, got out of bed. I'm still, sweating and blood is pumping and everything, but it's enough for me to mentally get right, to focus on the next exercise and ensure I'm giving it 100%. And it's also enough to let my heart rate just come down enough and my breathing to come down just enough that I'm really dialed into my next set. Exercise. But I only do 1 set to failure. That's another discussion that we can get into. If you have a different experience, please share it here. I'd love to hear what's working for you. If you're doing longer or shorter than 1 to 2 minutes, and why. I'm very interested to learn more about it, and I'm sure other people are too. And again, the goal of these is not for me to preach at you, George's way. It's literally a discussion. I want to hear the back and forth, and if I'm doing something wrong, I'd love to be able to hear from someone who's had more success and improve myself as well. So that's really what the heart of these. It's just kind of to be thought provoking and have a focused, healthy, civil discussion about different topics. So if you find these interesting and you want to view what's on this channel, subscribe over here. And an interesting video that kind of ties into this was one of the falsehood of fitness videos that was done by the official X3 page, and it talked about CNS recovery. And I believe the figure there was that your CNS actually starts to recover after about 20 to 30 seconds. So that's another reason I landed on 1 to 2 minutes, is I know that my CNS has now been recovering for almost a minute or half a minute before I start the next exercise, so that I'm going to get quality out of what I'm doing. I'll link that. If I can't link it right here, I'll put it in the description of this video, so you can just quickly jump to that one. I think it ties in very well to what we're going to be talking about here. And yeah, just thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being a part of this, and stay safe, work hard, and have fun. Take care.